Satsang-40. Meditate upon Atman. 8th December, 1934. Morning Satsang. The self is without anxiety. Once your ever-changing fascination with illusion goes, and the mind becomes still, you will experience that you are Brahman. Spiritual powers, siddhis, are dependent upon a body, and they create enthusiasm for the illusion, and the mind again starts vibrating. Where there is an enthusiastic joy for the sense pleasures, there is the urge toward illusion. Even extraordinary joy and the covering of bliss is also only an inspiration in illusion. The self, Atman, is what is common in both joys. Illusion gives pleasure, and pleasure brings in pain. To be agitated and then become tired is like a chain of alternating states. Please listen now to how and when this attitude appears. When your attention increasingly becomes concentrated on the self, the appearance of spiritual powers is incidental. But to use this power is to lose the one-pointed concentration. For that enticement is only deception. It is but the bait of illusion. And in this way, spiritual powers deceive one and ensnare him in illusion. There are 4 types or 4 classes of spiritual powers. The inborn power, the power induced by medicine, the power induced by mantras, and the power attained by various yogic practices. One kind of power is gained by unifying the prana or vital air and the apana, the eliminative airs or gases from the body. Some power is inborn. A fish swims in water. That is something that is natural and instinctive for it. This is called inborn power. Some powers or faculties are awakened by drugs. Some are gained by performing some austerities or rituals, or by taking up some physical efforts. Some powers are attained by repetition of mantras. The quality of fish swimming in water and birds flying in the air are the inborn powers. The cuckoo sings melodiously very naturally. Such powers are called inborn. By use of medicines, the protection of the physical body in various ways is possible. For example, by habit of continuous ingestion, people can tolerate poison and its side effects in increasing quantity. The power attained by austerities or ritual is such that one may undergo some ordeal by fire, take up the practices of hatha yoga, or some may even sit on a dead body and repeat certain mantras or phrases. Some can relieve people from the poisons of serpents, Some can do voodoo. However, if one does not do anything in this manner, but only concentrates on Atman, the self, all powers are naturally endowed upon him, but have nothing to do with him. The Apanavayu, or wind, is very powerful, but it is also very heavy. It is because of this that the body is steady and does not fly away, but it is also so forceful that it can move and throw away even a big house. However, when the consciousness is contained, the apana and prana, the eliminative wind and the breath, become unified, and peace prevails. The objects of the senses are in the world appearance, and by focusing on them, the attention goes outwards. Brahman is innermost. By focusing the attention of the mind on Brahman, it becomes introverted, and the prana and apana become naturally united in that way. When they become so united, consciousness loses its duality and one attains Brahman. One attains the self and gains the 4 types of liberation. God says, if a man concentrates on attaining various powers, he does not come to me. My devotees do not desire spiritual powers, and I bestow honor upon them. I worship them. All worship them. The true possessor of all powers is myself, and my devotee is only that self. All powers are my nature, so I am called all-powerful. When I am attained by the devotee, he becomes one with Atman, becomes himself God. He has attained the essence, the self of all powers. Then nothing is wanted by him. He is the king, and the glory of the entire kingdom is his. Many servants serve him. That king is truly the monarch of all. There are many powers, many cities, but for their existence to become possible, the self must be there in them. Nothing can exist without the self. So it is the self of all powers, of all strengths, and all arts. And that is the true devotee. There is no other self except God in any being. This is oneness without a second. And this is known only by the true devotee. Others will not know this mystery. When a man becomes the owner of all powers, he relinquishes worldly wealth, or Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and yet he still becomes the husband of Lakshmi, that is, true wealth embodied. One who kicks away all spiritual powers, all cities, becomes the true Siddha. There is only the one, the self, the Atma Siddha. This one is the master, by way of his true nature, Swarupa.